Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Tim Schmidt, President and Founder of the United States Concealed Carry Association, aka the USCCA. I'm here at the third annual USCCA Concealed Carry Expo in the heart of gun country, Fort Worth, Texas. And I am excited and honored to be sitting next to none other than Stephen Crowder. Stephen is going to be the host as well as the alleged source of entertainment tonight at the Second Amendment Expo.
Amy Schumer wasn't available. We switched it out because of her Barbie contract. You guys haven't seen here how I don't know if you have scope how big this is. They have this USCCA. It's like the Tower of Babel, and so many expos. And by the way, USCCA, it's this great logo, but there's too many letters. USCCA. We have to short. I don't know if you can say USCA. Can we make that a thing?
Like Geico.
Yeah. USCA. In 15 minutes or less, you can blow a perp away and be insured for it.
So
do we have to cut that? That's okay, right?
No. So,
I mean, especially what you're doing. You're insuring people and protecting their lives, blowing away the bad guys.
if they're a perp, then it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, numerous reasons I'm excited about this interview. Number one is that I'm not going to follow any of the questions.
Good. Let's do away with this.
So, dude, I gotta ask you, your backstory. I mean, how you got to where you're at. I mean, you're obviously a well-known comedian, but you're a conservative young comedian. I mean, where does that come from?
Well, thank you. I wouldn't say well-known. I'm known enough to be dangerous. Like enough in that zone where people show up at strip malls like, I really don't like you. But not enough that I never have to work again if I don't want to see them. I was born in Detroit, so I am an American citizen before you guys send the tweets. Barely. I know we'd like to annex Detroit, but I was raised in Montreal, which is, a socialist province. There were no handguns in Montreal. I had one ex-girlfriend whose dad had like this antique handgun. Don't, he's not supposed to have it, So I wasn't raised with it at all, but I was always a conservative because I was tutored on set as a kid as an actor, and so I learned about business and handling money and finances and taxes very young. And funny enough, the big unions in Quebec were the ones who stifled the acting industry, so I just started doing stand-up in my mid-teens, and that brought me full circle to the United States. I was not always like a political comedian. Even if you watch tonight, you'll see it's like maybe 30% political. It's just that it's so rare for someone to have any kind of, I wouldn't even say right-wing, but just not far-left stance, that's sort of what people, glean from it, because they didn't really have any of this to call their own. So I was doing stand-up in the States, touring and doing a few films and TV shows, and my manager dropped me when he found out my political views. And I was like, well, that's not really tolerant.
I mean, the manager that you paid to drop you.
Yeah, I know. Well, he wasn't getting paid that. He was getting a commission, and at that point, he just knew he wasn't getting a commission because people like me don't work in the industry. So then after that, I worked with Fox News for 4.5 years, and they were nice. It just wasn't really my scene, and now we do everything, online and direct to consumer. It's amazing how much everything's changed in just 5 years. Like if you're looking at all the young people who are watching it, none of them have any cable at all.
It's amazing. It's fantastic. And,
yeah.
I mean, nowadays you can literally build your own distribution channel, your own network, right?
Yeah, well, you can, and then the big problem is recently, YouTube just decided to demonetize all the conservative content, all the controversial content. So that's why we have the Mug Club, and we partnered up with Levin and Malkin at CRTV.
CRTV, right?
Yeah. So we have the promo code here. You get a free undocumented firearms T-shirt and Mug Club membership at a discount. Because if people want any kind of alternative content now, you have to directly support it because the social media ghettos they're so far left, and they've been losing, right? Because they had kind of they had the gatekeepers with CNN, Turner Broadcasting, and I hate to say it, but even Fox is not that far right. If you look at their parent companies, CBS, Comcast, and then they started losing online because people didn't need to watch them anymore. We put up an interview, we put up a video of Not Gay Jared, my producer, blowing his nose, and it gets more views than Anderson Cooper. So then...
Isn't that, that's got to be empowering, right? I mean,
it's empowering, but then they're like, oh, we need to demonetize these people in order to compete, and so they're just going to cannibalize themselves,
They changed the rules.
Yeah, they changed the rules, but that's why it's kind of changed. A lot of people are used to just nothing but free content. We still give away tons of free content. That's always the goal. It's just we're at the face, kind of like probably with you guys, a lot of people love these expos, and they come and they go, oh, the USCCA does great work. But now the rubber's meeting the road where, okay, you've got to support it and put your money where your mouth is. And the good thing is, what you guys do is incredibly affordable. And our thing is less than $6 a month. I remember when it started out, with subscription services like Wall Street Journal, it was like $40 a month. Like, maybe tweak your business model a little bit.
So I got to ask you, Stephen, kind of doing some research on your story, watching your progress. I mean, obviously you've got like a natural entrepreneurial streak in you, right? I mean, you must, otherwise you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
thank you. That's very kind of you. I don't know that I do. It was kind of sink or swim. You know, everyone you see at our booth here, they're all employed now by the show. And I mean, you started at USCCA, so it's you know, there's this constant vilification of the business owner. And if you want to save the American economy, save the business owner. Let's get out of this. Let's talk about the stock market. Let's kind of separate that for a second. Let's separate the fight for 15. But business owners don't sleep at night if they don't know they're making payroll, right? Often we're borrowing money to make taxes or payroll.
Well said, yeah.
So it just came down to that, where, you know, there are a lot of people, great people who make all the content happen. And my favorite quote as a Canadian, well, you're Wisconsin, so you're probably a hockey guy. The great one, Wayne Gretzky said, "Don't go where the puck is, go where the puck's going to be."
Yeah.
And so, I left Fox years ago, and just people can see focused online, full bore. So I think I have a good sense-ish about where things are going. But, you know, if Charles Krauthammer, a Pulitzer-winning writer, you know, gets his predictions wrong half of the time, let's admit it, I'm really rolling the dice. And then I call him like, "Called it, snake eyes!" But I made 19 different calls that I didn't get, so.
Oh man, so one of the keys to my success is I surround myself with people that are younger, smarter, faster, and better than me.
That must be tough, Ben Affleck.
Actually, it's not that difficult to do. And so I got a ton of people that are in their 20s, they're sharp, they're young, they learn fast, they know how to kick butt. And so when we were putting this expo on, this young lady, Katie, who I believe you've had some interaction with.
Oh, she's so sweet, yeah.
Yep, she's like, "Tim, I've got the unbelievable solution. We're going to get Steven Crowder to come in here and do this." And so my question to you is, was it hard to like, okay, yeah, I'll come in and I'll support this gun organization?
No, that part wasn't hard at all.
Okay.
That part wasn't hard at all, because I don't want to speak ill of any organization or anything, but I've known about USCCA for a while.
Okay.
And I'm not thrilled with what a lot of the bigger gun organizations have done. If you look at what they've kind of bent a little bit politically sometimes. Kind of like my issues with Donald Trump. I support him where he's right, and I try and be critical when fair. And I'm often surprised, especially having worked with a lot of conservative nonprofits, not directly with firearm nonprofits, but because I've worked with a lot of nonprofits, or I've worked with a lot of organizations, I've looked into them and I'm like, oh wow, I'm surprised they're a part of that. I'm sure you kind of know what I'm talking about. So that wasn't hard at all. I just, my big thing is I don't do a ton of stand-up anymore. Big part is security. We have full security here, obviously. This is the safest place in America right now.
I assure you.
I know, it's one of those things. The Canadians, like, what do you, I remember my French Canadians were there to watch my dad had a reunion hockey game. And they were talking, I was like, yeah, he's carrying right now, there are several people like, oh my God, how, they were terrified. I couldn't possibly feel safer.
Yeah.
Because if there's one person who comes in and doesn't like me, and that could happen, I know there's like 50 people who are going to take him out. So I have no worry about it. But no, the USCCA was really, really easy. I don't do a ton of live events anymore because of security issues and because we're working like 14, 16-hour days in this show, so we don't ever want to show up and shortchange. I don't know how many times you put on these events, but one thing that always bothered me as a kid, I saw a stand-up comedian who will remain nameless, and I loved him growing up, and I went to go see him, and it was like the same bits, and he just kind of phoned it in, and it was the same bits from 15 years ago. It's like, you know what, I never want to do that. So we had enough advance notice with this, and Tim and Katie, wherever she is, they were open-minded. I'm like, listen, I want to do a multimedia show. There's going to be some interactivity with the audience. We're going to do some sketches. We're going to do some pre-made videos. And they said, yeah, whatever you want to do. So it was great, and it's great to see an organization doing this. So if they're watching this, they're already a member, I guess. So I don't need to plug it. But.
Awesome. Well, I'm guessing that there are probably tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people that will see this, who are maybe long-term USCCA members and maybe haven't heard about you.
Yeah.
And so is there any way, how can they learn more about, the Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder? What's the easiest way?
Well, you can still watch tons of free content on YouTube. We just don't make a living off of it. But if you like it, louderwithcrowder.com, and you can join you join the Mug Club, where you get access to the Daily Network with Mark Levin, Michelle Malkin. And we're just going to keep slinging our shows and our content. It's honestly, we've been really blessed. It could have been a complete and total failure. We have Aaron, the intern, over there in a pink bunny suit right now, being chased down for free gear, and we just happen to be the most, popular sort of conservative channel on YouTube. So we work hard, but you can work hard and fail. So we appreciate all the support.
True that. Great. Well, hey, once again, I'm Tim Schmidt, president and founder of the USCCA, here at the 2017 USCCA Concealed Carry Expo, and awesome interview with Steven Crowder. Steven, thanks, man.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you putting us on.